Ever wanted to alter the course of the world? Do you have the fortitude to stand your ground in the face of injustice, or perhaps even environmental degradation? I've learned from history texts, among other things, to fight for change when you want it. Exceptional women have battled for change as well. Unfortunately, the majority of them are not well known, but we appreciate the value of their struggle for change in the world we live in today. The top 5 women who have impacted the globe are listed below. You'd be astonished by the excellent things they have accomplished. 5. Mary Wollstonecraft. She was a feminist, writer, and philosopher from England. Wollstonecraft's life, which at the time included a number of unusual personal relationships, attracted more attention than her literature up until the late 20th century. Today, feminists frequently cite Wollstonecraft's life and writings as significant influences. She is recognized as one of the founding feminist philosophers. She merits praise for her efforts. Maybe women wouldn't have achieved so much freedom if it weren't for her. She wrote novels, treatises, travel accounts, histories of the French Revolution, conduct manuals, and children's books within the limited span of her career. The most famous work by Wollstonecraft is A Vindication of the Rights of Woman, 1792, in which she makes the case that women are not inherently inferior to men but only seem to be due to their lack of knowledge. She imagines a societal structure based on reason and contends that both men and women should be treated as rational individuals. After Wollstonecraft's death, her widower released a memoir, 1798, of her life, exposing her unconventional lifestyle and unwittingly destroying her reputation for nearly a century. However, with the rise of the feminist movement at the start of the 20th century, Wollstonecraft's support for women's equality and critiques of traditional femininity gained prominence. A Vindication of the Rights of Woman is a seminal text of feminism. Wollstonecraft's essay, published in 1792, contended that the educational system of her period purposefully educated women to be frivolous and inept. She contended that an educational system that gave females the same opportunities as boys would produce women who would be not just excellent mothers, but also capable professionals in a variety of professions. Other early feminists had made similar calls for greater education for women, but Wollstonecraft's work stood out because it proposed that political change, such as the radical overhaul of national educational systems, be used to advance women's standing. All of society would gain from such reform, she concluded. Although the publication of Vindication generated much controversy, no immediate changes were made. But as the American and European women's movements developed beginning in the 1840s, some of the book's ideas were revived. Pioneers of American women's rights, like Margaret Fuller and Elizabeth Cady Stanton, were especially influenced by it. 4. Mary Anning. Mary Anning was an English paleontologist, fossil collector, and dealer who lived from May 21, 1799 to March 9, 1847. She gained international recognition for the discoveries she made in Jurassic marine fossil beds in the cliffs near the English Channel at Lyme Regis in the Dorset County of southwest England. Who knew a woman was responsible for uncovering the Jurassic marine fossil beds? The discoveries of Anning influenced how scientists think about ancient life and the history of the Earth. In the area's Blue Lias and Charmouth mudstone cliffs, Anning looked for fossils, especially in the wintertime when landslides revealed fresh fossils that needed to be promptly recovered before they were lost to the sea. When she was 12 years old, she made several important finds, including the first 2 virtually complete plesiosaur skeletons, the first pterosaur skeleton discovered outside of Germany, and fish fossils. She also found that belemnite fossils included fossilized ink sacs similar to those of current cephalopods, which led to the revelation that coprolites, also known as bezoar stones at the time, were fossilized feces. She spent a large portion of her life in poverty. She was not permitted to join the Geological Society of London because she was a woman, and her contributions to science weren't always given due credit. Anning rose to prominence in the geological community in Britain, Europe, and America and was frequently consulted on anatomical and paleontological matters. The Magazine of Natural History released an excerpt from Anning's loaned piece of scientific writing during her lifetime in 1839, in which she questioned one of the magazine's assertions. After Anning passed away in 1847, interest in her extraordinary life story grew. 3. Ada Lovelace. Augusta Ada King, Countess of Lovelace, was an English mathematician and author who lived from December 10, 1815 to November 27, 1852. She is best known for her contributions to Charles Babbage's analytical engine, a general-purpose mechanical computer. She presented the first algorithm designed to be executed by such a computer and was the first to realize that the machine had uses beyond simple calculation. She is frequently considered as the first computer programmer as a result. She is the very first computer programmer, indeed. Congratulations on your discovery. Thanks to technology, human life has improved greatly. Ada's mother, who remained resentful after her father's passing, encouraged her interest in arithmetic and reasoning in an effort to keep her from inheriting what she believed to be her father's mental instability. She met scientists like Andrew Cross, Charles Babbage, Sir David Brewster, Charles Wheatstone, Michael Faraday, and the author Charles Dickens through her educational and social endeavors, and she exploited those connections to advance her knowledge. She developed a close personal and professional relationship with Charles Babbage, a fellow British mathematician renowned as the father of computers, when she was just 18 years old. She ought to be called the mother of computers, in my opinion. Her creations were the cornerstone of enormous success. 2. Nellie Bly. Elizabeth Cochran Seaman, better known by her pen name Nellie Bly, was an American journalist, industrialist, inventor, and volunteer who is best known for her record-breaking trip around the globe in 72 days, which she took in homage to Jules Verne's fictional character Phileas Fogg. She was also well known for an exposé in which she went undercover to report on a mental institution from within. Elizabeth Cochran Seaman was born Elizabeth Jane Cochran on May 5, 18. She established a brand new branch of investigative journalism and was a pioneer in her area. Nellie Bly, a 23-year-old reporter, committed herself to a New York City asylum in 1887 in order to expose the appalling conditions endured by 19th-century mental patients. She transformed women's employment in journalism as well as the discipline of investigative reporting. She trespassed into a man's domain. She was a pioneer for other women in the media industry, and today, a top female reporter is referred to as Nellie Bly. 1. Marie Curie. Marie Salome Skłodowska-Curie, a Polish and naturalized French scientist and chemist who conducted groundbreaking research on radioactivity, was born on November 7, 1867, and died on July 4, 1934. She was the first person to win the Nobel Prize, the only person to ever win the prize, and a woman. The first married pair to receive the Nobel Prize, she and her husband Pierre Curie established the Curie family legacy of 5 Nobel Prizes by sharing her first prize with her. A formidable couple, perhaps. She was the first female professor at the University of Paris when she was appointed there in 1906. Are you aware that she is the only person to have won the Nobel Prize in 2 different sciences? Superwoman, in my opinion, facilitated a victory for women. She started her practical scientific training in Warsaw, where she attended the secret flying university. She accompanied her older sister, Bronislawa, to study in Paris in 1891 when she was 24 years old. There, she obtained her higher degrees and carried out her subsequent scientific research. She married the French physicist Pierre Curie in 1895, and the two of them won the 1903 Nobel Prize in Physics for their groundbreaking work, creating the hypothesis of radioactivity, a term she invented. In a street accident in Paris in 1906, Pierre Curie perished. By applying methods she developed for isolating radioactive isotopes, Marie was able to discover the elements polonium and radium, earning her the 1911 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. She oversaw the world's first studies into the use of radioactive isotopes in the treatment of neoplasms. She established the Curie Institute in Paris in 1920 and the Curie Institute in Warsaw in 1932. Both institutions are still important hubs for medical research. She created mobile radiography devices to offer X-ray services to field hospitals during World War I. She gave her home nation, Poland, the name of the first chemical element she discovered. Marie Curie passed away from aplastic anemia in 1934 at the age of 66 at the Saint-Selmas Sanitarium in Passy, Haute-Savoie, France, as a result of radiation exposure from her scientific work and her radiological work at field hospitals during World War I. In addition to her Nobel Prizes, she has won numerous other awards and accolades. Poland proclaimed 2011 the Year of Marie Curie during the International Year of Chemistry, and in 1995 she became the first woman to be buried in the Paris Pantheon as a result of her achievements. Are you capable of making a significant change? Perhaps you can make a significant change, and you can start by subscribing to my channel, as even one new subscriber is very significant, and clicking the like button would also be appreciated.